Okay, we got cut off, but in our previous video, we were talking about how, what type of discourse community Jamie was in, and she mentioned being in a sorority, and how being in a sorority, how being in a sorority technically was a discourse community. So, we are going to continue with how being a part of a discourse community affects your life and how you live it. So, Jamie, can you explain to me how being in a discourse community would affect your life otherwise if you weren't in one?
I don't understand.
Like, if you weren't in a discourse community, how would your life be different than now?
Oh, I think everyone's in a discourse community. So if I wasn't... if I was in different discourse communities than the ones I am in, now, obviously that'd be different. But, for example, if I had a different major that wasn't nursing, because with nursing you have to get, literally straight A's to, get in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I wouldn't, try as hard in school. That's the only thing I could think of.
You wouldn't?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay. Hold on. So other than being in a sorority, you told me that you were on a cheerleading team, as I was as well, in high school. How did that affect your relationship status, not only with your teammates, but with everyone around you, in your school?
Well, being a cheerleader, everyone literally, knows your face and, knows who you are because, you're always,
yeah.
I don't know. You stand out when you wear a uniform at school, obviously.
No, I agree.
But, so I guess it's kind of, the same with a sorority. You have to, represent your school. You're trying to make people, be supportive of your team and stuff. So,
And there's certain type of lingo that you use.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, being able to... It's really hard to be able to talk about discourse community because it's kind of hard to explain. At least I think it is. I think it's easier, like you said, mostly everyone is a part of a discourse community, whether they really know that they are or not. But I think it's kind of hard to explain what other discourse communities are like because you're not necessarily a part of all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand that if you worked for a doctor's office, that's a certain type of discourse community. You have to wear scrubs, you have to be very polite to people, you have to write a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, act a certain way, rather than, I know I used this in this example earlier, but rather than being a lawyer or being a maid or someone. Being a lawyer, you have to be very aggressive, you have to wear a suit, you have to write a lot of stuff, you have to read a lot of stuff, and it's just different types of jobs require different skills, different types of people, different ways of thinking.
Like you said, being a lawyer, you have to wear a certain thing. I remember from Comp 1 we read a thing and it talked about having an identity kit.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Explain what that is.
Identity kit would be like you said, a lawyer has to act a certain way, dress a certain way, so people take them seriously and know what they're gonna do, and that applies to many discourse communities. And last semester when I had to write a paper about a discourse community that I was in, I wrote about my sorority and how it requires an identity kit because you have to present yourself in a certain way.
Definitely, you're always one of the things that one of the things that our president tells all the girls in our sorority is that you are always wearing your letters figuratively or non-figuratively. But you really are. People know you're in Kappa Delta, so whether you're wearing letters or not, if you're acting badly, then you're really representing your chapter bad. Same thing with doctors. If you're a doctor and you perform well in surgery, but you are at a bar hammered, completely drunk, later that night, and a patient sees you, I don't think that they're going to respect you as much.
Yeah, definitely not.
So it all depends on being in a discourse community really depends on not only how you act around those people, but what your true inner self is, like
And
your
I
true
remember,
personality.
And like last semester, I know I keep talking about it, but like we talked about how like
Excuse me.
like being a doctor, like sometimes you would trust like a man like over a woman doctor and like stuff like that, which is unfair, but like it happens in a discourse community. Like a male doctor would probably be taken more seriously than a female doctor, and like in a nursing situation, like you would look at a male nurse like
Weirdly,
weird.
That just goes with profiling, I guess you would say that. But I don't know. We were talking about how your writing gets affected through being in a discourse community, like any type of discourse community. And I said this in my reflection statement, but I don't know if you really understand, but I don't really understand how a certain type of discourse community can really alter the way you write or like how you write. Except like I understand if you are like a doctor or a lawyer, but like being in a sorority, it's not really, that really has nothing to do.
Right.
Like I said, and like you said, like being in a sorority can make you change your opinion on certain things and like steer you to do like some things, but it doesn't alter the way you write.
Yeah. So maybe like